Couple of things that stood out for me again in part 3 of The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Number 1 is angels in the abstract. There is forces, supernatural forces rooting for you, but you are just so busy doubting yourself that you can't see or feel it. Most creators think that they are all alone and that genius is self-made. You are not the source. You are the instrument. The higher realm delivers and you receive. Every time I create something powerful, I know that it didn't come from me, it came through me. If you want to tap into a higher power, humble yourself and start acting boldly. Your Creator is watching and He rewards movement, not excuses. Next up, approaching the mystery. I don't think any of us will ever really master creativity, but we can tap into it daily. People want predictable formulas for creativity, but your higher self, your inner genius, doesn't just show up on command. Approach it like a warrior approaches a temple, with reverence, but also ready to bleed. We shouldn't always just try to create creatively. Prepare for the battlefield and then allow yourself to step into mystery. Creativity isn't a formula. It's a fight with the unseen. You taking action, going into the unknown, into the unseen, into the mystery, will bring out your creativity. Next up, invoking the muse. We were never meant to do all of this alone. And it's so easy to feel like your dreams are too big and that you are not worthy. But if that dream came to you, if that vision of a better future was gifted to you, then so was the support. The support from your Creator, your higher self, your inner genius. You just need to go and dig for it. And as I said previously, step into the mystery, take action. When I launched 4am, I didn't wait until I felt like I was qualified. I knew and decided that I was chosen, and then I acted accordingly. God's not going to do your job for you, but He will carry you when your knees start to buckle. So you're not alone, you are just out of alignment. Next up, testament of a visionary. Every single visionary was called crazy before people started calling them geniuses or great. Most people want validation before proof, but that's not how dreams work. Real visions, real dreams are lonely at first, but you're not building for today's applause or for people to validate you right off the bat. You're building for legacy. You first take action, get results, and then after that, then you get the applause. For example, when I started talking about alternative investments, you know how many people doubted alternative investments. Now, there's over 7,000 clients. The trick is to stay faithful to your calling, even though nobody's there to clap. All visionaries see it, and then they prove it, and then they get the applause. That's the cost. Another part of invoking the muse that stood out for me is divine power doesn't answer casual requests. So many people ask half-heartedly and then they quit the moment the answer takes time to come to them. Your Creator is not going to come through for you if you ask half-heartedly, if you have half-hearted faith, if you quit the moment things take too long to play out for you in your favor. I show up when it hurts. I create and post content when it's inconvenient. I hit the gym even though my mind tells me I don't have enough time and it's better to postpone it to tomorrow. I put a smile on my face and show up as my energetic, happy, positive self, even though I feel sad in the inside, even though I have pain or certain problems in my own life. Your actions is your sacrificial lamb that you go lay at your Creator's feet. He will answer efforts. He will support you when you take action. He will create breakthroughs for you when you help yourself. As God's creation, we are not entitled for Him to show up every single day for us. You got to bring something to the table. You got to take action. Second thing that stood out for me is the magic of making a start. The moment you start, the entire universe shifts. Most people want to wait for certainty before they take the leap, but action opens the doors that fear can never unlock. I didn't have a perfect plan for 4am Club. I just took action. I moved and things started to reveal itself for me. With action comes clarity. And I still don't have a perfect plan for all of the projects and companies and ideas and dreams that I have going for me. But I can only create, I can only be great by stepping into the mystery, by taking action. The next step will reveal the next step. Start before you are ready. God's momentum only goes to movers. If you want miracles, Make the first move. Next up, the magic of keeping it going. The hardest magic to master is momentum. The problem is most people treat momentum like a mood instead of a duty. God rewards those who persist beyond boredom and fear. So many times in my life when other people rested and got comfortable in a certain situation, I kept on working. I kept on searching for more, better. That's why people come to me, those same people that come to me for advice. Don't just start strong, finish like a savage. Consistency is the highest form of spiritual warfare that you can develop. Maintain it. Next up, Largo. True power moves in silence. I always say speed equals power. However, we need to develop the ability to put things into context. When do I need to ramp up the speed and when do I need to slow down? Speed is not always the best move. The skillful warrior or skillful entrepreneur knows when to toggle a couple of things on the switchboard. There's also a divine force in slow, deliberate movement. Some of my most powerful decisions and moves that I've made in my life came when I slowed down and I started to listen. Largo means you're moving like royalty, not rushing like peasants. A wise king is not wise because he knows everything. He's wise because he knows when to take his time with something and when to strike fast. When the knowledge he has is adequate or when it's not, and he needs to seek counsel elsewhere. Next up, life and death. Every day that you delay with your dreams or your visions, a small piece of your soul dies. Sometimes we act like we've got forever, but we don't. I was 20 years old just a while ago. You see, I'm getting grey hair, there's some grey in my beard. Time passes like this. Your calling has an expiry date. That's why a lot of people don't fulfill it. When I faced death in my family, I realized that all we have is now. Right? Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow isn't promised. All you really have is right now, this moment, with who you are, where you are, the people that you are with. If you knew that you only had 12 months left to live, I promise you'd stop playing small, you'd stop caring about the shit that other people think or say or do. Start living like your Creator is counting on you. Because He is. He's counting on you to fulfill your calling, to express what He's placed inside of your soul. Next up, the ego and the self. The ego seeks approval and the self seeks alignment. Most people let how many other people like them define their worth. If you want to hear God and you want to find your calling, you got to almost tap out of this world, tap out of other people and what they think and do. Tap out of this reality. Tap out of your ego and tap into your true self. When I stopped building my life to impress other people and I started building to serve, everything else changed for me. Let go of validation, let go of the ego, start serving your Creator and seeking ways to serve others truly, not half-heartedly, and your calling will be revealed to you. Next up, the authentic self. You're most powerful when you are most real. And boy, have I seen this many times in my life. Don't hide the real you behind branding and strategy and materialistic things. The higher realm, your inner genius, that thing, that special thing that your Creator has given to you, is only going to flow through authenticity. When I spoke openly about my issues, my childhood, my upbringing, the suffering that I've had, the pain I've experienced, the mistakes that I've made, I became unstoppable because it immediately ceased to be a chain of enslavement and it transformed into a weapon for me. My Creator transformed what was bad for me and horrible and negative into something great and positive, into something that I can use as fuel, as inspiration and motivation for other people out there. He took all of the bad things and the suffering and He created something positive and empowering of that. Authenticity is not a weakness, it is your superpower. Your highest calling will flow through your most honest self. And to summarize all of this, when you can let go of the ego and push it aside, almost exit this world, right? We are in this world, but we are not of it. And tap into your higher self, the true self, and you can combine that with taking action and faith and not do those things half-heartedly and stay consistent, then you will become unstoppable. Then you can do anything because God Himself is backing you and rooting for you and supporting you when you can do that. Be blessed.